what happened 1 week ago today. 1 week ago today. This is some drone footage of the Trump rally site. And you see the building there. That was the building where Thomas Matthew Crooks, 20 years old, went on top of the roof there and shot at the crowd and hit the former president of the United States in the ear. Some people say it was a lucky shot. Some people think it was divine intervention that Trump turned his head right at the last second because, it looked like this guy, Thomas Crooks, had his eyes set on Trump, and then possibly more people in the crowd, and maybe even something to do with a bomb. We still don't have answers here, folks. And there is some new bombshell reports out about drone footage and the shooter going to the rally site prior with a drone and taking a drone up into the air to do surveillance of the area, to map out and scope out what his idea or plans were going to be. It was like a reconnaissance mission. This is footage of the site. As you can see there, it's it was a small confined area at the farm yard there. But right next door, folks, is where this buildings, these multiple buildings, and one of the buildings where they didn't have Secret Service, folks, is where the shooter was able to go to. There is reports that the shooter made multiple trips to this location before finally going there for the last time to do this act, that whatever he had planned to do. We still don't know what his grand plans were here. A lot of information is trickling out about this case, about his cell phone, because Celebrite, which is a technology the FBI is able to use to crack into phones, they were saying that he was making a lot of searches. And searches, what I mean is he was searching Trump, he was searching the DNC, he was searching Fannie Willis, he was Princess Kate, he was searching Ethan Crumley, he was searching porn, he was searching certain figures, political figures, on his phone. So we think he was an anarchist. We think he didn't really have any political alliances. We think that he just hated Trump, he hated Biden, he hated everyone, he hated the world. Possibly this guy could have been like an Antifa guy, but we still don't know. What's shocking to the core to me is the lack of answers, the amount of information being circulated about, the security lapses with the Secret Service, FBI, local police here. What's shocking to me right now is I was just looking on my feeds and I'm seeing a large line grow for a Trump rally today in Michigan, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Despite not knowing what's going on, it's almost business as usual as far as the Trump rally continuing. Trump rallies continuing, right? I can't believe that Trump is having a rally right now, knowing that there is unknowns out there. Particularly members of Congress are calling for Secret Service Chief Kimberly Cheatle to resign, get fired, and answer to Congress about Secret Service. People feel like the Secret Service at the highest levels of the government are involved here. Now, if that's true, and a lot of people are peddling this theory on social media, particularly Twitter, then why in the world would Trump continue to have rallies? Is there a leak, or is there a mole, or is there a bad actor within the Secret Service group? It concerns me that Trump is having a rally today, 1 week later. It's similar to 9/11, folks. Remember 9/11, when 9/11 happened? They actually grounded all flights and changed so much stuff just in a short time right after 9/11. Well, you would think if you don't know answers on the shooter and don't know answers on what happened, unless they do know answers and they're just keeping it quiet from us, why in the world would you still hold a rally? Whether it's indoors or outdoors. Because remember, folks, this was outdoors. You see there, that's the building right there. Shooter was able to go there. But who's to say that a shooter can't sneak inside an indoor venue right now? And who's to say that this guy, this shooter guy, Thomas Matthew Crooks, 20 years old, who's to say that he wasn't corresponding or communicating with people on apps and different things on the phone there, because they're trying to say that he was speaking, with people possibly overseas. That's according to Michael Waltz. There's just, it's bizarre. This is bizarre. And some people think out there that actually Trump set this all up to boost his ratings and boost his, popularity and come out as a hero. I'm not so necessarily sure if I buy that theory. Reason being, would you risk having someone point a gun at you just for a publicity stunt to just get hit in the ear? I mean, the margin of error there was so close. I mean, it was his ear. He turned his head. It would have went right in the back of his skull. So I don't think this was a setup by Republicans to boost their candidate in the polls. I really don't. But it's being peddled out there. There's a lot of unknowns. I'm hearing whistleblowers that think the Secret Service deliberately not put enough people at this location. I'm hearing MK Ultra. I'm hearing all kinds of things out there as far as theories and speculation. But why is Trump having a rally today? But here's some drone footage. Now, I want to share some clips with you all, ladies and gentlemen, because they're saying that the shooter came there prior to the scene and took drone footage of the location. Drone footage. So let's play a clip right here. We're going to play a few clips, but we'll play this one here to get the information, because I want to get the information out there. Also, there's a video of someone visiting the gun site where the shooter went to. Let's listen to this clip first.
We want to keep it moving with more of these updates. So many outlets and publications doing incredible reporting on the assassination attempt, the investigation, the perceived security lapses, all of that and more here. I'm Andrew Kraft. Thanks for being with us. In the meantime, we do want to get into this new bombshell report right now, just moments ago, coming in from the Wall Street Journal. And I'm going to read from some of the piece, and this is quite stunning. Let's take some of this video. This is what we know. According to the Wall Street Journal, they just published this piece, that a gunman who tried to kill Donald Trump was able to fly a drone and get aerial footage of the Western Pennsylvania fairgrounds shortly before the former president was set to speak there. Law enforcement officials briefed on the matter said, further underscoring the stunning security lapses ahead of Trump's near assassination. This is a piece by Sadie Gunman and Aruna Viswanatha. They go on to say in their reporting that Thomas Matthew Crooks flew the drone on a programmed flight path earlier in the day on July the 13th to scour the Butler Farm showgrounds ahead of Trump's ill-fated rally, according to the officials. The predetermined path, the officials added, suggests Crooks flew the drone more than once as he researched and scoped out the event site. You see images of him there. The 20-year-old would-be assassin fired at least 6 rounds from the roof of the American Glass Research Building, roughly 400 feet away from where Trump spoke, killing one spectator, critically injuring 2 others, and leaving Trump with a grazed wound to the ear. A Secret Service sniper team shot back, killing Crooks, whose motive still, almost a week on, remains a mystery there as well. So, of course, we've been showing you some of these live pictures outside of the Crooks home there in Bethel Park. Police are done searching it, but there is somewhat of a cordon still in that neighborhood. Now, the Wall Street Journal piece goes on to say, multiple investigations are underway into how a gunman was able to climb onto a rooftop with a clear line of sight to Trump and open fire with an AR-15 rifle. Police had become suspicious of Crooks more than an hour earlier when officers saw him milling about the edges of the rally with a rangefinder and a backpack. Now, the use of the drone was just one way in which authorities have said Crooks planned his attack. Crooks, described by friends as very smart yet withdrawn, began researching the site shortly after the Trump campaign announced the rally on July the 3rd. He registered for the event on July the 7th, according to officials, and he visited the farm showgrounds a few days later to scope it out. Now, remember, on July 13th, officials said he returned with a pair of homemade bombs that appeared to be designed to be set off by remote control, as they were fitted with a receiver, like the kind used to set off fireworks remotely. investigators found the rudimentary explosives in Crooks's car parked close to the grounds, along with a ballistic carrier or vest with 3 30-round magazines in it, an indication he might have wanted to cause greater carnage. So this bombshell piece coming in the Wall Street Journal, saying that gunman, Thomas Matthew Crooks, was able to fly a drone and get aerial footage of the fairgrounds shortly before Trump started speaking there. So that is quite a significant piece of reporting in the Wall Street Journal. We wanted to bring that to you as well. I was reading from the Journal piece as well, some incredible reporting into this investigation. As we go into the weekend here, we're going to be showing you the rally tomorrow in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Trump and Vance will be on the stage for the first time together as a ticket there. And you heard in Kaylee Schuyler's reporting, some people went there to the Van Andel Arena in Grand Rapids just to get a look at the security posture before they attend the rally tomorrow. No doubt there is some hesitation. There is some trepidation about what that security might look like in the wake of what happened in Butler, PA last Saturday. We'll see you in 2 minutes.
Okay, so drone footage. He was scoping out the area. He was going there. He registered after they announced the rally on the 3rd. And how they do it is, folks, is if you go on like their website, donaldjtrump.com or donaldtrump.com, you can register. Now, I never really understood the registration aspect of it. I think it's a way just to get people's information as you register, because really when it comes down to it, you don't need a ticket to go to these rallies. They'll tell you you've been registered, but it's a first come, first serve. So even if you registered and you arrive late, if the place is full, you're not getting in. It's a first come, first serve. And like I said, I've always thought this concept was it's kind of like a, to get your email and get your information, so then they can send you donation, solicit donations. They can send you all types of, things in the email and everything like that. That's why they want people to register. It's a way to get people's info. Not necessarily you need to register to, attend the rally. But he registered. That's what they're saying. This is the Wall Street Journal report. And I want to tend to believe it. Because it seems like in the last day or two, someone is leaking out in the FBI information, or someone is leaking out, lest the journalists are just all making it up, but someone is leaking out contents of what was discovered inside this guy's phone in reference to the searches he made. So someone knows something about a drone, unless it's just a made up story. But did he fly a drone at that morning, the same morning the Trump rally was 1 week ago today, in the morning before the rally? It's quite possible, because the interviews that we've been doing to witnesses that have been there, they're saying it was short-staffed. They were saying that particular rally was short-staffed. Now, normally, rallies indoors, you're not going to get a drone up in the sky. Normally, rallies are, the security there for days in advance is top-notch. It's like Fort Knox there. You ain't getting nothing in there, and Secret Service and all types of security, like the Colorado. We were talking about the Colorado security company, the outsourcing people the third-party people that they hired to do the security there. They do sweeps and everything like that, and they make sure no one's over there. And actually, rallies before this particular rally, you would have Secret Service perched around there for days, and they're monitoring. Now, they could have been there, but we're hearing that this particular assignment was given to the Secret Service field office in FBI field office in Pittsburgh, which is some way short-staffed for some reason, or they allocated some resources to Jill Biden, who was at a additional rally somewhere in that area around the same time. This guy, was he able to go there to the field and park his vehicle somewhere and fly a drone up in the sky to get an understanding and stuff like that? Again, it's quite possible. This guy, according to teachers and according to people at the school, specialized in calculus and mathematics. And it's quite possible he got that drone footage and analyzed that and used his mathematics skills that he learned in school, because they said he excelled in mathematics, and kind of used that and used the trajectory and used everything and used all that knowledge as a way to perpetuate his plot. So I want to believe this report, but Fox News has been coming out with wild reports lately about this drone stuff. But I do want to show you first, folks, right now, here is Grand Rapids, Michigan. And there is a large group of people at the Trump rally in Grand Rapids, Michigan, outside. There's hundreds, if not thousands, already there in the kennels, in those barriers that they set up outside the rally. So it's not deterring. This incident is not deterring people from showing up at the Trump rally. I also think there might be that the Trump campaign itself, or not getting answers itself, is a way, because they don't really want the public to know the truth, because the public knows the truth about the security lapses. It might scare people from going to Trump rallies, I'm sure a lot of people out there, seeing what happened and was planning on going to a Trump rally. Now they're like pumping the brakes and like, yo, I'm not going to any Trump rally anymore. No way. I'm not going to Trump rally anymore. That's what people are saying. Look at that. That's today. That's just like an hour ago. So they're there. Now people say they're protected or it's okay. How can you honestly say it's okay when we still don't know answers what happened with this shooting? We know nothing. And we don't know if it's if it's Biden that ordered the Secret Service chief to have her people that she orders up the top level to turn a blind eye and give orders going all the way down to the local level to be like, okay, just turn a blind eye and allow this guy to do it. Now, we don't know, but at the same time, he's holding a rally in Michigan. It's kind of scary to me, and it's kind of fishy, and I'm a little bit suspect about the whole situation, everything. But again, we're not peddling crazy conspiracy theories. These are logical questions. They're kennels. Yes, they're not barriers. They are kennels. Now, Fox News keeps talking about the drone footage and security lapses. I mean, you're putting out that security is bad there at that past rally, but something happened here. Something happened, and we still don't know what happened.
Breaking news, everyone's been asking why a drone wasn't flown over the Trump rally site on July 13th. Well, we just found out from the Wall Street Journal moments ago that a drone was flown over the site hours before the rally, but it was actually operated by the gunman. Joining me now, Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn. Senator, this is unbelievable. We are just learning, sources telling the Journal, that the predetermined path suggests that Mr. Crooks flew the drone more than once as he researched and scoped out the site. He was researching other Trump events as well, supposedly also did some search about the Democratic National Convention. But this adds to the growing list of questions we have for the Secret Service director. This is getting worse by the day.
Indeed it is, and we have had no transparency. She hasn't done a press conference, which usually the lead agency head will assemble a press conference and let people know what is going on. And Laura, the thing that is so frustrating about this is we're getting these bits and pieces. We're trying to verify and make certain that we know what is information, what is rumor, and that we hold the director to account. I mean, with her job, it's not like you miss your sales quotas or you miss your casework quotas. When you mess up, people die. And that is what we saw on Saturday with death, with injury, with the assassination attempt on President Trump.
Well, Senator, we get conflicting information. In some of the accounts, we heard that authorities saw him up to 3 hours before the rally started. Then it was an hour. Then he had to retrieve his gun. There was comments about a ladder, shimmying up the roof, the number of shots fired, the way the shots were fired, and then, of course, the one shot that killed him. But none of this is adding up. And I said almost a week ago, if we didn't have transparency immediately and some accountability, conspiracy theories would fly. And check out, go online. You'll see what people are saying, and it's not good.
No, it is not good. And this is why we have pressed the Secret Service director for answers. why we thought it was so important that she talk with us, with the senators, and give us some answers, because the American people deserve to get some answers. Laura, we had people that saw things, they spoke out, there wasn't a response. We know that they, at 5:51, identified this guy as a potential threat. At 5:53, they alerted the sharpshooters. But at 6 o'clock, the Secret Service cleared President Trump to go on that stage. And we want to know why he was cleared, and also why they did not have drones, why they were not surveilling that inner, middle, and outer perimeter to make certain that President Trump and the rally goers were all kept safe.
Well, we also understand that in some cases there were DHS security officials, not the traditional
Right.
Secret Service officials who were with candidate Trump. So that was also something that Josh Hawley discovered through his own source. So now you guys have to act as reporters, like you're journalists trying to find out information. What's going to happen next week, Senator, given the fact that we have like 5 different investigations going on, which I think is a huge mistake, should be one investigation?
We're going to see the House move forward with theirs. The Senate Judiciary Committee is going to have a hearing. We're looking forward to getting the director in front of us and asking specifics. Laura, we have to put her under oath and find out what went wrong with the advanced planning, what went wrong with the coordination between the Secret Service, the other federal agencies, the state and the local. This is just
terrible.
unbelievable. What a mess it is.
And you have a man buried today, and his family in deep
That's
mourning
right.
because of what happened, and Trump almost
That's
dead,
right.
and 2 others bad.
What in the world's going on here, folks? Because Marsha Blackburn, she was the same senator that called out Cheatle when Cheatle was at when she was at the RNC the other day, the Secret Service chief. But here's what I don't understand, folks. They're demanding answers, and now they're saying 5 investigations. We heard 3 before, so now there's 4 that we know of, because she said the Senate Judiciary Committee. Because we heard that it was going to be the Inspector General for the Department of Homeland Security, the Inspector General investigating, the White House doing an independent investigation, the House Oversight Committee doing an investigation. Now she's saying, Marsha Blackburn, the Senate Judiciary Committee doing an investigation. That's 4. Laura said 5, so I don't know what the 5th one is, but that's 4 now that they're doing an investigation. But again, openness and transparency, we have not seen. We haven't seen anything about any answers to this. But this is why I'm shocked by this, because Marsha's calling her out, and I'm glad she is. I'm glad she's calling this out, and I hope she does go. I hope Cheatle goes under oath. Matter of fact, I hope she gets fired personally, because this is any other type of corporation or any business. If this type of thing happened under someone's watch, they should axe the top levels of the people instantly, immediately, not even administrative pay. I'm talking fired. You're out of here. Fired, 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 fired. Okay. But at the same time, all this unknowns today, 1 week later, we're 1 week later. This happened 1 week ago, less than 1 week ago. It's going to happen, the event happened, around 6, a little bit after 6:11 p.m. Saturday. So we're almost at 1 week later. We still don't have answers. And Trump is holding a rally with the Secret Service in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Make that make sense for me, people. Make that make sense. Why doesn't Trump just stop his rallies until she gets fired or understand what's going on? Why would you continue to have rallies, which he's having today in Grand Rapids, Michigan, with her at the helm, when her at the helm last weekend nearly cost his life? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Now, Fox News has been putting out a lot of information about this. Here's another clip.
Local officials in Pennsylvania claim that their local enforcement were on hand for traffic duty. 7 officers that were told, okay, you folks are going to be assigned to the traffic dealing with this rally. And it flies in the face of what we've been hearing from federal officials. So joining me now on the phone is Edward Natale, Butler Pennsylvania Township Commissioner. He was elected to that position in 2021. He tells us he does not have a law enforcement background. Mr. Natale, thank you very much for being here today. It's good to have you with us.
Martha, thank you very much for reaching out to me.
So tell me what your understanding is of what the local law enforcement's responsibility is, because clearly the head of the United States Secret Service has suggested that that area was going to be covered by local officials.
Well, yes, and honestly, Martha, that's what prompted me to, I guess, post. I'd like to let the dust settle after an event like this, but what prompted me to post and on the social media platform last night, and of course, obviously talk to you today, is that our local Butler Township Police, their duties that were assigned to them, and we have an operational plan that details all that, were strictly traffic detailed. They were not required or not detailed to any security detail related to the event. It's strictly traffic to help people coming in and out of the event. If there is an emergency, those type of things. We saw the number of people, the number of cars at the event. And I was so frustrated and quite frankly hit my limit again last night when I saw, again, Secret Service says it was the responsibility of the local police department. That's absolutely not correct.
Yeah, the local police department is not the entity in charge of the safety and protection of a president or a former president. But once this started to happen, once this shooting began to unfold, the local officers did then try to assist, try to see if they could do anything, right?
That is absolutely correct. Local officers that were in the general area, again, performing their assigned detail, once they had some information over there that was transferred to their comms, they went over to look for the suspect that was identified and were going around the building. In fact, you can see them on the video, one of the officers, and people were pointing, he's up on the roof. Well, we had two officers. There was no ladder in the area. We had two officers, which is, I want to correct that. There was no ladder in that area. And the two officers, one was lifting the other one up. I mean, you could see the pitch of the roof, which is not that steep. We can get to that in a few minutes. But to the edge of the roof for them to try to look up and to see where the suspect is, the officer that's being lifted, he is using both hands to grab the edge of the roof and try to pull himself up. In that process, he exposes himself. The shooter turns and points his gun at him. Obviously, he is not in a position. He's pulling himself up with both hands to wield his gun. So obviously, he fell back. He actually, in the process of falling back, he ended up injuring himself. He was not retreating. If he was in a position to engage the shooter, he would have done so. And and that message is out there is disgusting.
Did you, that's new information, so thank you for that. Last question for you. We're seeing reporting that Crooks's parents reported that he was missing and called the local police. Can you shed any light on that?
No, I cannot. Obviously, I just heard that, I'll say, within the last few hours, so I can't shed any light on that.
So Secret Service is passing the buck over to local police, saying it's their responsibility. So Trump is at a rally right now, about to be speaking in Grand Rapids, Michigan. She's still head of the Secret Service. I saw some people in the comments said, well, I asked, why is Trump having a rally when we still don't know what happened 1 week prior and his life was nearly lost, and people are questioning her, right? Thinking she's involved in numerous things in dealing with this case about, not having enough agents, what she knew, what she didn't know. And he's having a rally. And some people said, well, it's because he has amped up security and stuff like that. Yeah, amped up Secret Service security, because that's who his security is. That's ran by her. So make that make sense, folks. Make it make sense. It doesn't. Nothing makes sense. This doesn't make sense. It's a complete madness. They're trying to pass the buck on to the local police, and the local police not, having around the buildings. Well, what's happening in Michigan right now? He's at a little like arena indoor place in Grand Rapids. I mean, is local police involved? Is there communications? What's going on here? It just doesn't make sense. And we still don't know answers. And I don't even think, honestly, we're going to get answers. Yeah, she might be held in front of Congress, but she's going to have a way to spin her words and not say what she's supposed to say. She might even plead the fifth. Who knows? She might even plead the fifth, but she's still there. She's still running the operation right now. She should have been fired. My opinion. You guys might have your opinion. You guys have opinion. Here's another thing I want to show you, because there's a guy, and I saw this circulate here. There's a guy that actually went to the Clairton Sportsman's Club. Now, I don't know who this guy is, but I saw this just a little bit ago, and it just piqued my interest of what he said. But this is the sporting clubs that the shooter went to. He was supposed to be there the morning that he told his dad he wanted to borrow his dad's AR-15 to go to this shooting club that he supposedly got kicked out of prior. So there's a lot of conflicting information whether he was a member there or not. But this guy right here.
Okay, hello everyone. George Webb here at Clairton Sportsman's Park. This is, of course, the place here where our member is Crooks. Crooks is our member here, and I think you're also going to see Urick is a member here as well. And again, the reason why you come to a place like this, if you're going to try to entrap some Republican kid and you're going to try to make a shooter out of him and you want him to be shooting at a distance at 140 yards, being at the club over in Allegheny Club, which is 100 yards inside, is not going to do it. Being at a large facility like this, where you have an 1,800 acre campus and you have the deer hunter being shot here, so you can shoot animals and so forth, moving animals through foliage, through realistic conditions that he's later going to have back over at the fairgrounds. You've got to be coming to a place like Clairton Sportsman's Club. And the important thing about this is where the Department of Homeland Security trains. This is where the Department of Homeland Security trains. This is where ICE trains. This is where every DHS live exercise has been since 9/11. I say before then. And the scenario is written by Michael Chertoff and also Mayorkas when he was at DHS. Tom Ridge was more of a figurehead as the first head of DHS, but those exercises were here. And the exercise called, the exercise in general here is the John F. Kennedy situation. Multiple shooters, political figure. So rally shooter is the name that I've been told, but it might not be rally shooter. It might be, Dealey Plaza. It might be JFK. But the idea of a presidential political figure being shot from multiple places in triangulation is not new. It goes back to Dealey Plaza. So the fact that they would do that exercise here since 1963, the fact that they would do that exercise here and plan that exercise and prevent and do counter sniping here at the Clairton facility is no surprise to anyone. Now, the key thing here is we know that 10 of these police that trained here also jumped from the Jill Biden motorcade, Jill Biden motorcade. Sorry, there's a lot of traffic here on this road. And then they went to the Trump motorcade. So it's a team. There's a 10-person team that has gone into and been inserted into Trump's motorcade from the Clairton Sportsman's Club. And they have been training with DHS. So if there was an insertion of a team to do an exercise at the Trump shooting, it most certainly would have been those 10 motorcycle cops. It most certainly would have been the Clairton Sportsman's Park, where we know Crooks was a shooter, and you're going to find, I believe, the key shooter for Antifa, or at least the Antifa role play, was Alas Poor Urick.
What do you think? He does raise a lot of questions. And, that's what it might take to get an understanding of what happened. Citizen journalists and other people, because the corporate media is putting out things to me that do not make sense whatsoever. Again, I just showed you a Fox News. They bring on Marsha Blackburn. Marsha Blackburn saying, we want Cheatle brought in. We want Cheatle brought in. What happened? And it sounds good. It sounds good for the people, the American people, to see, okay, they're going to bring her in and everything like that. But Trump is still being protected by her right now and is having a rally today, 1 week later. It makes zero sense to me at all. Well, maybe it makes some sense to you. It's frustrating. I just want to know the truth here. Because is there something bigger in the plots? Did this Crooks guy conspire with other people? Some people suggest he conspired with foreign agents, foreign people. Other people are saying he's a loner. We've been trying to get an understanding about, him growing up in school and everything like that. Everyone's saying he's a loner. Some people are saying he was picked on. Some people are saying he was not picked on. We've heard all the, there's some people saying he's a Trump supporter. Other people saying he's not a Trump supporter. We've played interviews from both sides saying all different things. A big mess. There's people out there saying, oh, he had MAGA flags at his parents' house. He was a Republican. He supported Trump. Then you have someone that comes on the record, a classmate, and says he hated Trump. You had people, classmates, that say, oh, he's picked on, bullied. They labeled him the next school shooter. And then you have his guidance counselor coming on saying he was never picked on. He really never missed school. He missed like one day his last year or his sophomore or junior year. He didn't miss much school. So if he was being bullied, why would he just continue to go to school and get bullied? Things don't make sense. What we're hearing is just a mess of just information being spread around, and we don't know what to believe. Meanwhile, Trump rally continues. They're beating it. They're continuing with their rallies. This one's going to be an indoor rally. It's just unbelievable stuff. But we're on it on JLR Investigates, and we'll continue to share what's being shared out there. I can't tell you what the truth is and what's not the truth. All I can do is just show you what the information and what they're peddling out there and let you decide what you want to believe and what you are. But I would just say be mindful. Be mindful of believing a certain network or believing a certain news report. That Wall Street Journal report about drone could be 100% not true, and they're just saying things. A lot of times, there's reports out there that he had porn in his phone, okay? It sounds juicy. It makes good content as far as, oh my God, the shooter had porn in his phone. He was looking at porn in the last second and stuff like that. Well, media outlets can say anything. Here's the deal. Media outlets, now that this guy is deceased, he's not alive, you can't defame this guy's character when he's not alive. So media at this point can say whatever they want about him. They can say he had this, that, and the other in the phones. There's nothing he can do about it because he's not alive anymore and he can't sue anyone. So they could say whatever they want to say. They can put out whatever they want to put out. So just be mindful. We don't know the truth. We're trying to get the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. I'm JLR Investigates. Thanks for watching this particular segment. When more information comes out about this particular case, I will share with all of you. Me and Magnolia are planning to go up there. Now, I know someone in Butler that has been sending me videos every day. They still have a heavy police presence outside that perimeter. I'm going to show you the drone footage again real quick, and let's just finish up and talking because the drone footage, they're still treating this a week later as a crime scene. They still have law enforcement perched around the building, and they're not letting anyone near those grounds. They have state police there, unsure Secret Service. But when are they even going to release the crime scene? We would like to go up there and get an idea and do boots on the ground and give you guys the footage and see what's going on. There's people talking about the water tower. There's people talking about what ladder was on the building and what wasn't ladder. And did he bring his ladder? Was there a ladder already there? It's apparently a big crime scene still. So we don't know when they will release it. And even a week later, what is their intent to do here? How long are they going to keep it guarded? The perimeter here, because it's guarded. It's literally, you can't get on there. You can't get on there. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Let me know. And then we still don't know much about the guy's parents. That's another thing. The parents apparently called law enforcement and said that he was missing the day of the shooting. But there is zero social media presence about his dad or mom. We only saw one picture of his dad. And that's when federal agents were opening up the door. Other than that, no photos, no nothing. Who are these people? What in the world's going on here? And I say that out of general concern. Like, what? Nothing makes sense here. So, and then we have to pay attention to the whole political climate and everything else. And it's pray that this doesn't escalate into something bigger. Thank you, Ocean's Daughter. And thank you, everyone that supported. I saw a few comments come through. Appreciate all of you. And, we're sleuthing. No stone left unturned. We're peeling the onion. JLR investigates. We'll talk soon. You guys have a great day. Be safe. Love your loved ones. Stay vigilant. Keep digging, folks.